Hello, welcome back. It's Beth, and today I want to talk to you about how to harness some calm in your life. It's funny, I have been around some people who've had some stressful situations going on lately, and I've let people know about some stressful things that are going on in my life, and I've been getting comments about how I seem calm and how they really aren't that calm. And it's been really an interesting exercise for me because I think my friends who've known me a long time will tell you very quickly that I tend to be quite excitable and at times off, maybe even hyper. Um, I don't tend to be hyper, but I get pretty obnoxious at some points. I also tend to be quite sudden in if I have an idea or something's going on, I will suddenly begin to speak very quickly and kind of flitter about. And so this is something that a lot of the people who know me have come to know about me. And so it's kind of funny, becoming a yoga teacher doesn't suddenly make you this calm person. And so if you're a yoga teacher, becoming the teacher, getting a certification or whatever, isn't suddenly magically going to turn you into a calm person who's able to just harness this ease in your life unless you do the actual work. And I think not everybody who teaches yoga or who practices yoga comes to it with an internal sense of calm. I certainly didn't. And I think many of my friends and family will attest to the fact that I have in the past demonstrated that I don't have calm as my inherent nature anyway. But that's interesting that I say as my inherent nature because we tend to confuse the body and the mind and the things that our physical form does with more of the spiritual self and the essence of who you really are and what you really are. And I think that in everybody's nature there is a calm. And if because whoever you are, if you become still and sit and listen, you can sense a peace, an underlying peace or an underlying calm wherever you are, even at the subway station, for the A train in New York City. Like, I have experienced calm there with hundreds, thousands of people coming through there. So I think it's more about how are you going to bring your mind back? How are you going to bring your mind to come into a connection with that sort of underlying peace, underlying calm that's there anyway? And this is why I do encourage people to study meditation. I think meditation is key for a lot of people who have busy minds. If you tend to be a worrier, meditation can do amazing things because I used to really have a strong sense of worry where, I would go to lay down to go to sleep at night and I would have racing thoughts that would keep me up an extra couple of hours. Or even there were times in my life where I would go to sleep and wake up like at 2 or 3 hours. I would wake up worried about something from work or worried about something that was going on in my life. And really for me, I think developing a really solid, consistent meditation practice is important. And I don't think doing that 20 minutes a day every day is necessary. If that's a lot of time for you to step away from the kids or your work or your family or whatever it is that you do with your day normally, if 20 minutes feels like a long time for you, start with 5. And there are several videos on here and other writings on coldwaterhaven.com that describe how to start a basic 5-minute meditation process. But I think beyond that, one of the key things I wanted to explain today was the mind, which is the part that worries or the part that gets agitated, right? that the mind follows the breathing, the breath. And we can train it to follow our breath more quickly, and we can control our breath, right? If I ask you to hold your breath, it's not a problem. So what happens for a lot of people when they experience stress, they hold their breath. And if you do this, you probably are aware that you do this. You can notice when people are kind of clenching or forcing themselves to breathe because they get constricted when they're under stress. And so with that in mind, I think the first step besides starting a meditation practice is to develop a habit. Take 1 day or 2 days. Take the next 24 hours only. Okay. And just notice your breathing. You can do something like every time you hear the phone ring, that you stop and take a breath. Every time you walk through a doorway, you check your breathing. Every time if you see certain people intermittently throughout the day, you can turn that person into a reminder to check your breathing. Especially, and I've done this, especially if that person is someone who you tend to experience stress with. You can decide that every time you see that person, you're going to stop and take 2 seconds to just calm the breath. And what I mean, yoga teachers talk about calm your breath. It just means to make it slow and steady, in and out, very even. And I think what people who have a lot of worry, a lot of tension in their lives or stress do is they'll take a big breath and then they'll hold it and then they'll, exhale a little bit, but they'll take another breath before they've exhaled all the way. And they'll have like kind of starts and stops in their breath all day. And actually what happens is the brain subconsciously picks up on the breath being, in music terms, it's like staccato. Right? So you're breathing a little bit, but you're not having that slow, smooth, steady breath. And so just take a moment. Several times throughout the day, pick a marker, set an alarm on your watch or your phone to go off, quietly. Every hour on an hour or every 2 hours is fine. But take the next 24 hours and just try to, every time you hit that marker, just pay attention to your breath and breathe. And enjoy. It's a moment to enjoy your breath. Not forcing it, not trying to, grab it by the reins and take control. If you notice that you forgot one, say you set the doorway as your thing, every time you go through a doorway, you're going to check your breath. And then you realize you just went through 3 doorways and didn't check. No big deal. Let it go. Let it go. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just let it go. And when you notice, come back to your breath. Okay. It's not an opportunity to give yourself extra stress. It's not an opportunity to berate yourself for anything you've done or are doing. It's just an opportunity to relax and enjoy and create a sense of ease for yourself. No one's going to give that to you but you. Okay. Other people sometimes can influence us to remind ourselves to do this, but nobody's going to give you a sense of ease. Just you. It's your responsibility. And so enjoy it. Have a good time with it. Be creative. It would be really funny to walk around with a string on your finger, but if that makes you laugh and have an easier go of it, then do that. Do something that's a little bit fun. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Take care.